Sorry, y'all. I had a wardrobe issue. Upgrade, can you see me okay? Is the screen okay? Good, good. Give me a second. Good afternoon, Fleshies. Today we're heading under the full moon to see what makes werewolves tick. Wait. Or is it crocodiles that tick? But anyway, today we're diving in head first into the realm of werewolves. We'll start by looking at how one became a werewolf. We'll start by looking at how one becomes a werewolf and then move into the traditional cures for werewolfism and then talk about a guy in the 16th century Germany who claimed he was a werewolf. But first, let's talk about ways that one can't become a werewolf. According to tradition, werewolves, at least the traditional werewolves, do not transfer the curse by a bite, nor does one get one by a claw to the skin. You didn't get it by being exposed to werewolf blood, nor did you get it via genetics. However, if you chose to wear a wolf skin as a belt, that might do it. However, you do run into a problem if you try to take off that belt or that skin. You might rub a salve on the skin or drink a potion. However, these salves, these potions, yeah, I need something. That I definitely do. We'll figure it out. These salves may have made one think that they had been turned into a wolf. Wonderful plants were thrown into these potions, including things like deadly nightshade. I just lost my place. Wolfsbane, hensbane, and even gypsumweed. I agree. Doctor Who at Where, welcome to the boneyard. Now the toxins in those, wait, let me refresh your minds here. So these potions might have had deadly nightshade, wolfsbane, hensbane, perhaps even gypsumweed, along with some type of animal fat. Now, many times these potions would have had actual wolf fat, along with other goodies. It should also be noted that these toxins could be absorbed through the skin, and they put one into a state where you were a little bit delusional. You could easily think that you became a wolf, a werewolf. You could also become a werewolf by being cursed by a witch or even a god. You can look that myth up in Greek mythology. It was said that swimming across the lake under a full moon, that once you reach the other side, you would become a werewolf. Some say a curse upon the family might turn you into a werewolf. Being born on Christmas, being conceived on the new moon, drinking water from the paw prints of a wolf, were all things that could transform you into a werewolf. Also, sleeping outside the light, sleeping outside under the light of a full moon, being kicked out of the church. Now, say you discovered that someone is a werewolf. How can you save them? Is it just as important to know what is not going to work? Unaliving the werewolf who turned you, not going to work. Upgrade 501, you would ask. Hold on. No, that actually has nothing to do with it. Doctor Who What Where, those are modern day myth from movies. I'm glad that Charlie has his technology handy. We'll see if it works. Give me a second. Ah, I have it. In some traditions, sharing a birthday with Christ was seen as the ultimate insult or an act of immense arrogance. And as punishment, the child was cursed to become a beast. Lovely bunch of coconuts these people were. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, also, wolfsbane won't work, but it might poison you. Silver only works in the movies. So the question is, what does work? Unaliving the person or the werewolf was believed to fix the problem. Killing the witch who cursed you also fixes the problem, though I advise not doing any of those things. You might be able to remove the skins from your body if you say the werewolf's Christian name 3 times. It was thought to cure them. Striking the werewolf 3 times with a sharp object on the forehead would also work. Drawing 3 drops of blood from them would work. Oh, we're going to talk about that, Doctor Who What Where. You're getting ahead of me. You might also try throwing some iron over the werewolf's head. Now, there was a point when Hollywood grabbed the werewolf by the throat and sunk their teeth into the legend. In 1935, Hollywood released, and again, I lost my place. Uh-oh. So, there are some other things that are not true. Werewolves can transform under any moon, not just the full moon. Transformations were not quick, and they didn't last just for one night. They could last for weeks. Vampire bites do nothing to werewolves. The question is, have there ever been werewolves? Maybe the better question is, are these guys really werewolves? Or were they suffering from some sort of issue? You've heard of witch trials, but have you heard of the werewolf trials? They would have come and gone in various centuries, mainly coming and going from the 15th through the 17th century. The place is Germany, and the year is 1589. Poor Peter Stump is finding himself facing a judge because he's supposedly a werewolf. Poor Peter was eventually unalived for his crime, but he wasn't the first, nor was he the last. In 1521, 2 shepherds, Pierre and Michael, confessed to a pact being made, as well as crimes against humanity. They were unalived. Then in 1573, they came after a hermit. He too confessed to crimes against humanity. And another judge involved in the trials came in 1598, and this judge claimed that he saw werewolves prancing around the courtroom. Imagine that. Imagine that, Fleshies. Think about that, Fleshies. The judge saw werewolves prancing around his courtroom. I don't know. It sounds fishy to me. I wonder what bit him. In France, between 1520 and 1630, some 30,000 people were unalived. Their crime? Supposedly being werewolves. Now, when we get scared, we really get scared. Hollywood added to the lore of the werewolf, and they sink their fangs right into them. The first bit of new lore came with The Werewolf of London. Have you seen that movie? It could be ergot poisoning. Very good point, Dr. Who What Where. Very good point. Have you fleshies? Ah, good. The first bit of new lore came with The Werewolf of London, which introduced the idea of the werewolf curse being spread by a bite. This was also the first time that a werewolf would appear on film walking on two legs. Before that, all other werewolves appeared on screen as wolves. Then, in 1941, Universal did it again with the Wolfman. This time, another tidbit was introduced into the lore of the werewolf. And it was the idea that a werewolf could only transform under the full moon. Something we know just isn't right. A werewolf can transform under any moon. The full moon stuck like a fly on flypaper. Oh, and it also introduced the idea of silver being lethal to werewolves. The howling, my favorite sound. Oh, you're talking about a movie. I'm sorry. Fleshies, did you know that the werewolf legend didn't die in Europe? It actually followed the people here to the Americas. And while I haven't met a werewolf, but I imagine that somewhere on some country road in the United States, there might be some fleshy who thinks that they need to be out in the moonlight, transforming on some country road. What do you think, fleshies? Are there humans out there transforming into wolves? Or do we just love creating stories to scare kids into behaving? Or do we create stories to scare ourselves into behaving? I guess that's the real question. After all, America has dogmen, the Beast of Bray Road, Rougarous, and a creature whose name I will not be mentioning in this live. Now, I want to know what you think about werewolves. Are they out? Are they in? Are they knocking on your door? Is Charlie a werewolf and we just don't know it? Personally, if I had to put my money on it, I'd say Charlie was a daywalker. Big announcement. Are you listening, fleshies? Next Thursday, the owner of this channel will be having, well, the day before we go live next week, my fleshy writer is having a birthday. He's celebrating another turn on this crazy thing he calls Earth. I know he's excited. Another year of writing stories for me. Gotta love him. Alf. I've never seen that show. Why he likes eating cats, though. I think I've seen that in a short somewhere. The reason I mentioned the birthday is we're doing something a little cool. You're going to hear my picks for my favorite stories, the ones that made me smile with delight, usually as a fleshy ended up paying the price, or the ones that had the best creatures. You'll get to find out why I like them and why I think you should listen to them. Later this month, we're going to talk about other movies that have added to the monster lore. We're going to look at vampires, mummies, and maybe others. And then it'll be time to spend some time in the boneyard. My favorite place to be. As we look at what was found here in the boneyard. Is my mask filled with aromatic herbs? No. It's completely hollow. Cheap plastic. My old one was, though. It just did no good. I still ended up dead. It's no fun. Anyway, coming up in August, we'll be looking at my favorite baddies in the stories. First times in monster movies. Your fears made real. We'll be looking at animal hybrids and chimeras. Did I ever meet Vlad Tepes? No. He was before my time. It seems that Charlie had to rewrite my birth and my ultimate unaliving. Nor have I ever met Dracula. That is, Count Dracula. But how cool would that be? Imagine him hosting this instead of me. Of course, then it really would be night. And then it'll be time once again to talk about what we found within the boneyard. H. Holmes. He's a dirty. Wait, is that who I think it is? Remind me, Doctor Who, what, where? I think I know who you're talking about. Yes, he's a dirty, dirty man. Unfortunately, I never met him. But if I did, he'd have more problems than what he has now. Much bigger problems. I wonder if he's in Tartarus. Can you imagine? The vultures have all the fun down there. You know, when Charlie sends people into the void, that's where they go. Oh, if Jack the Ripper were anybody, it would have been a member of the royal family. Of course, who knows? We may never know. It makes one wonder if he was in with the cops. It does raise questions. Personally, I look like I belong on the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I love that movie. Or I should say, my other half loves that movie. I think he has a crush on Lady Dracula. Or something. Personally, yes. And what an amazing lady she was. I love the scene when she becomes that big group of bats. I don't know. I do know that King Charles II was the monarch at the time that I died. He was a great king, I think, anyway. My memory is a little bit foggy at times. Just like London. Ha 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 ha. I made a funny. Yes, the last bubonic plague outbreak. And what a joy it was. That's back when I thought I could survive anything. Little did I know. Don't forget, on the 16th, we're having a special subscriber choice live. Oh, those were the days. Can you imagine? I was neither. I was just trying to stay alive. To be honest, it's all just a blur. You know, it's real fun. Trying to save them. Some of those guys learned really quickly. You don't play with Mother Nature. In the end, you either lived or you were unalived. I supported the king. Though for a few years I was much, much too much involved in my studies. Oh, yes. Mostly among the Norse. But every once in a while somebody would wear their skin. Of course, they were a little bit batty too. They had bats in their belfries. If you catch my meaning. One had to know where they stood. much like today. It's important to know where one stands so you don't get confused. Life became so much easier once I wasn't living. And I could watch from my little mausoleum at all the passers-by. I'd be afraid of them too. Running around with nothing on but a pelt. Shame on them. But then again, from what I hear, wink, wink, they were not themselves. Berserker that. I can't talk about why they weren't themselves. Not on YouTube. Fleshies should not be going around thinking they're better than everybody else. Or under the influence. You said it, Doctor. They were very altered. I really need new digs. You think Charlie can afford a new mausoleum for me? One with Wi-Fi? Wouldn't that be cool? Maybe a new mask with air conditioning. That would be amazing. Sometimes I miss England. But at least here I have somebody to talk to. You want to know what's fun? It's not bad as long as you're inside. Let's see, what is the weather today? Yes. That's entertainment, you know. Right now it is 84 degrees Fahrenheit with a real feel of 88. Oh, and oh, the joy! There's going to be thunderstorms. And we're supposed to have them in the next 2 hours. Oh, how fun! And then again at 10. Again, how fun! You know, Upgrade, I saw some of those. Of course, back then, it was pretty easy to tell if somebody had, unalived during one of those. I will say this. Try talking through a mask. Sorry, I don't like breaking the fourth wall, but it's hot. And I still have 15 minutes. By the way, thank you, Fleshies, for engaging with me. It means a lot. What is it going to take to get me more people? The Inquisition? Sorry, I don't mean to be quiet. I had a maggot in my ear. Just kidding. I haven't had to worry about that in a long time. A very long time. No, that is true. Any thoughts on what you might like to see in our lives? Have I done gnomes? They're actually horrifying. If you really think about it. Traditional home crafting? Doctor Who won't wear. The only traditional home crafting I did was preparing some traditional medicines. We could paper mache some Black Widows. That could be fun. Upgrade 501. How about some red caps? We can discuss those. Alchemy. Red caps. Oops. A gnome. Are they gnomes? I'm sorry. They're a goblin's evil cousin. Uh-oh. Somebody's been naughty. Yes. Much, much scarier. I'm trying to talk Charlie into buying me one for a pet. We could lock it up in his basement. Gremlins could be fun. They'd make an even better pet. Call me crazy. Wow. More sirens. And no, not that type of siren either. Goat eaters. You mean chupacabra? Charlie doesn't like them. Charlie says there is a line that he won't cross when it comes to this channel. And I always ask him what it'll take for him to uncross that line or delete it. Jersey Devil. I knew him. He was kind of groovy. He taught me how to dance. You don't want to see it. If I changed my mask, would you leave? I wouldn't be me. I'm going to buy Charlie some new legs for his birthday. I think there's a Monsters episode where they do that. I love that family. I'd fit right in. That would be a gas. Maybe. Any good plans for tonight? Are you staying in or going out? Charlie's trying to talk me into going out. Oh, that sounds relaxing. I'm gonna relax too. Understood. No. No hands. No hands. Sorry. I guess I broke the fourth wall there, huh? Is that what that's called? It's okay. I can get emotional. It's when I start poltergeisting that you have to worry. Uh, and Charlie just wanted me to add that he doesn't play any instruments either. Charlie is really moody. Fleshies, are you in there, Fleshies? Don't forget to give this live a like and say hello. Charlie was watching a show last night and he actually had to turn it off. I guess it got too dark. Paranormal 911? I don't know. Charlie turned it off and said never again. Quoth the raven, nevermore. It was about a lady who works as an EMT. She arrived on the scene of an issue, and she brought home company, sort of like Charlie did. Only this company was bent on ruining her, whereas I just provide entertainment. I'm having wardrobe malfunctions. Uh-oh, not again. No! It wasn't a succubus. But it was bad. It was definitely bad. We're almost out of time, guys. What happens to the time? I get on camera and the time starts running. In a manner of speaking, yes. Oh no. My phone dinged. Oh, it's okay. He's a little older than me, but yes, in a manner of speaking, I do have a doppelganger. He even tricked my niece. You know, upgrade your rights. I do need a chair. You know, when I first started doing this channel with Charlie, I sat on a bucket turned upside down. Now I'm sitting on a bed. And it's not comfy. I definitely need a new place to hang. I'll be honest, the bucket was a little bit more pleasant than the bed. I wish I could show you. I wish I could show you the list of stories that Charlie has waiting in the wings. It's about this thick. Can you see that? It's about that thick. Maybe. I think he likes punishing himself. Don't tell him I said that. Anyway, Charlie tells me that lunch is ready. Not that I eat, but still. I know it's getting late for some of you, so I'll be letting you go, Fleshies. Remember, stay safe, stay on the path, and never get off. 'Cause the minute you do, you too could end up becoming a werewolf. Pleasant nightmares, Fleshies! And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, Fleshies.